Alright, man, welcome back to another true crime reaction. Today we got a cop realizes the suspect is dead. Now, Dr. Insanity provides nothing but absolute fucking bangers, so I'm pretty excited for this one, man. Before we get into this one, though, let me just say, hey, if you like the video, man. Yeah, it really does help. Alright, let's not waste any more time, though, and just get right into this one.
This is the never-before-seen case of Harold Easter, a shocking example of police negligence.
What the fuck?
And the only time a suspect has ever died inside of the interrogation room. A man who went from stone cold sober to dying of an overdose, all while in police custody.
Bro, what?
On January 3rd, 2020, police pulled over Harold Easter after they allegedly witnessed him selling drugs. After Harold stopped his vehicle, the officers immediately rushed the vehicle, weapons drawn, just to see him hiding the evidence in a truly shocking way.
No way he ate it.
Put your hands up!
He fucking ate the drugs, chat. Oh my god.
Hands up! Do it now! My man just got out. We had some weed, that's all. Hands up! Hands up! Open the door for you. Put your hands up right now. Keep them up. Keep your hands up right now. Don't eat it.
Right now.
He's eating. Hands up.
Harold admits to having a little bit of marijuana on him, but obviously doesn't want him to know about the crack cocaine he was also carrying, as instead of giving it up, he puts a rock of it in his mouth and swallows it directly in front of the officer. Obviously, this is extremely unsafe. Ingesting any amount of this drug can be dangerous, but in
what he said.
The amounts that Harold just took,
yeah, it could be dangerous. Dude.
It's life-threatening. Officers should have immediately called for medical attention and taken him to a hospital, but instead, they focused on arresting him and bringing him into custody.
No
leaving
shot!
him to suffer for hours on end.
I got it. Alright. Got anything on you? Just come prove me stupid. I ain't got nothing. No, I ain't got nothing. Leaving all that cash in your pocket.
The officer pats Harold down and finds nothing but a stack of cash on him. However, a search of his vehicle recovers much more.
He was cushioning up part of his crack. He didn't get all of it though, but that's what he was doing while I was fighting for his hands. But we probably got an 8-ball down here. This is gonna be part of the crack he was crushing when I was dealing with him. And here's another baggie located in front of the driver's seat.
The officers recover about 3.5 grams of crack cocaine
crack.
and around 1 gram of marijuana from the car, along with the cash found.
1 gram of marijuana is nothing, dude. That's like, 1 gram of marijuana ain't shit. But an 1/8 of crack, that is something. Okay, that is something. Holy shit.
His pocket. These aren't big-time numbers, and Harold maintained that he wasn't even selling it in the first place. He was just smoking a little with his friend.
I ain't had nothing but to smoke a little rock with, that's all. Smoke me a rock, that's all.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out.
It's gay, man.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out.
That's gay, man. Dude, I love in these videos when, like, there's a hint of comedy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he didn't even mean to. He's just like, that's gay. So funny.
A rock, that's all.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out.
It's gay, man.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out. Lift your tongue out. Keep your mouth open.
I don't got nothing in my mouth, that's what I tell you.
Harold and the officers are both showing perfect conduct, treating each other with respect and staying calm. But remember that the cops know Harold has just swallowed a large amount of crack cocaine, and they seem to be completely ignoring how dangerous this really is. But instead of worrying about that, the cops just shut him in the patrol vehicle and leave him unattended for over 10 minutes before driving him back to the police station. During this drive, Harold starts to become more talkative and excitable.
Yeah.
The first sign that the
100% the cocaine's kicking in, dude. He's starting to get a little hush.
is kicking in. When he arrives at the station, this has only gotten more apparent. Compare how he talks here to his demeanor just a short while earlier during the arrest.
I ain't doing it. Just let me go slow. I can't take it. Let's swing your arms around the steps.
I can't understand a word they're saying. They're speaking in hieroglyphs.
If I say down, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, there you go.
In about 5 minutes, I'll come back and get you. Cause he got stuck, man. He's like, man, I ain't doing that to y'all. I'm not saying you gonna hurt yourself. I can tell you what's going on. Yes, let me tell you. Y'all know what you do, man. What's your earrings, tongue ring, wherever you down, you got no tongue ring.
It doesn't take an expert to realize that Harold is already very high. He's talking way more than before, swaying and bouncing around whenever he gets the chance, and has a distinct lack of care for what's going on. The officer should know that something is up with him, but whether he totally missed the signs or just dismissed it as him being a random junkie from the street, he still failed to alert the medical staff of Harold's condition. Instead, he watched him take his hoodie and shirt off, indicating a high body temperature.
I feel like it's definitely a little bit of both.
And left the interrogation room.
I ain't getting say that young guy damn is you doing now, cause I ain't got no license. All that nine stuff you know is me driving the motherfucking car. I don't know anybody driving the goddamn car.
While the interrogation audio isn't the cleanest, Harold's demeanor and tone tell enough of a story. Right now, he's just feeling the early effects of the huge dose he took, but soon cocaine toxicity will start to kick in. The footage from this interrogation captures all 4 stages of this process, from where he is now to paranoia and distress, ending with seizures and a loss of consciousness, all without an ounce of medical attention.
Bro, what? Dude, what? The negligence is just absurd. Yeah, the fact that they haven't brought him water is pretty fucked up. Like, normally, like a detective comes in and gives him water right off the bat, right? Or am I just... Maybe that's just what happens at the beginning of the video, but...
Starting to get louder and angrier, likely stemming from the first sign of a cocaine overdose known as delirium. Specifically, Harold seems to be experiencing excited delirium, a state that is consistent with hyperactivity, paranoia, rising body temperature, and incoherent screaming and shouting. The anger may also come from the fact...
Did I just say, and unusual strength? Bro, what? And unusual strength. He got... Wait, so that's like real? That like you do coke and then like you're just like gonna fucking lift up a car? Like what?
The anger may also come from the fact that since he was arrested, he's told officers he's needed to drink water and use the bathroom, but hasn't been given access to either.
Yeah, that's
in response to this, he yells and asks them if they're gonna let him die there. A horrifying statement that will soon prove to be more significant than he could have ever realized.
Man.
I'm gonna say that but he started back on and never did it wrong. Why do you not have any clothes on? Man, that's on top. And he said, and when I see that, I'm going to put his back on, I'm going to back on, you can tell me let me get some water, man. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to listen to you. No, but you got to be here. You want to get some water. I'm going to take a little sip of water.
Finally, an officer returns and asks if he needs water. 4 minutes later, he brings some in, but his actions afterwards are extremely telling.
I'm trying to pay attention. I don't know what he's saying.
After giving him the water, the officer just asks why he's yelling so much before immediately backing out of the room while Harold is still talking. It's almost as though the officer feels scared or threatened by Harold, amplified by the fact that he refuses to turn his back to him at any point. The cop wants to keep him in his vision so he can feel safe. It's now apparent what the cops are actually doing. It seems as though they think the dosage that Harold took is safe and are just waiting for it to wear off.
I see. Oh, okay.
Off before they begin questioning
still,
and processing
like...
him. Given that the arresting officer saw the size of the rock that Harold swallowed, it should have been obvious that it wasn't a safe dosage. They only realized when it was already too late.
Man. I think they're making music, bro. This is where he's gonna start doing like the seizures in stage 3. Man.
Harold is starting to shake in what are known as pre-convulsive moments. He knows something is wrong, but due to how intoxicated he is, he won't be able to understand what's happening or that he desperately needs help. This is the first stage of cocaine intoxication. His blood pressure will be rising dramatically, his thoughts will become clouded, and he may start to experience hyperthermia, along with the obvious twitching and convulsive motions that are visible. Entering this stage confirms that the substance has essentially poisoned his bloodstream, and even if medics were called now, there is very little they'd be able to do.
Wait, what? Still? Even at this stage, there's like, even if they came in right now, there's a little they could do? That's insane. Man.
To stop what's to come.
Dude, right when they see this, they definitely should have instantly brought in like a medical examiner, someone to come in and fucking check on this guy. Like, that's just egregious, dude. That's literally just really egregious. Man. This is hard to watch, dude. This is actually really hard to watch.
Harold has just had a seizure, the second stage of cocaine toxicity. His entire body began heavily convulsing, he lost control of his muscles, and his body likely started sending less oxygen to his brain and other vital organs. His heart is probably even starting to beat irregularly and skip beats. His body is starting to completely shut down. Harold then spends 2 minutes lying motionless on the table.
Dude, and nobody fucking came in? Are you kidding? Dude, that's fucking egregious, man. That's absolutely fucking egregious. That like royally just pissed me off a little bit. 2 fucking minutes and no one came in to check on him? Dude, you think after 5 seconds, 5-10 seconds, someone would come in and fucking check on him, dude? Like, what the fuck?
Completely shut down. Harold then spends 2 minutes lying motionless on the table before falling to the ground, having multiple more seizures, each more aggressive than the last. Harold spent almost 10 minutes in this stage of stage 3 cocaine toxicity before an officer finally checked on him, vomiting, hyperventilating, and convulsing the entire time.
Man.
Was rushed to the hospital where he died 3 days later, leaving behind his wife and children. Following the incident, an investigation was opened against the 5 cops and...
Yes. Okay. All 5 officers involved. All 5... Wait. I can't... Did I start reading it? Jesus fuck Christ. All 5 officers involved in the arrest were recommended for termination, but resigned before their case could be reviewed. They all resigned. See, you know, like... They know they're in the wrong when they resign. You know what I'm saying?
Involved in the arrest, who subsequently resigned from the force. No legal action was taken against any of them. However, changes were made to the CMPD's policy following Harold's death. Officers are now required to constantly monitor any suspect in their custody instead of just every 15 minutes.
That's wild that it was every 15 minutes. Like, you would think you would have like one person watching all cameras at all times, like all suspect cams at all times. That's fucking wild that they would only have to check in on, and you know they wouldn't check in every 15 minutes. 100% they wouldn't. There's no shot. There'd be, oh, we're 20 minutes, or oh, it's been 20 minutes, or oh, we're, you know what I'm saying? It's been 30 minutes, or like there's no shot. That's egregious, man. That's really
And
egregious.
officers must immediately call a medic if they believe a suspect has swallowed an illegal substance.
It's
The
wild how like these two things that have changed are like I would think would have been implemented in the very beginning. Like those two things would have been set in stone in the very beginning. Like
Your family also received a cash settlement in
Jesus
their
Christ.
wrongful death suit and have announced that they are at peace with moving on. The CMPD showed exactly how not to handle a situation like this. If they'd called a medic any earlier, Harold's life could have been saved. Here's what police should have done.
Okay.
Shown when Xavier Franklin suddenly fell ill in their custody.
What would you like us to do for you today? I already was to hospital.
Just weeks ago from today, Franklin was brought into police custody after being arrested for outstanding warrants during a traffic stop.
Step up for me real quick. Let's go put you in handcuffs. You're detained right now. No big deal.
You got any weapons on your box? I'll patch you down real quick, right?
Franklin is taken to the police station to be interviewed about his warrants. But before they could even start questioning, he starts to get extremely sick.
There goes tissue, okay? You're right back.
In contrast to the CMPD, these Dallas officers immediately noticed that Franklin was in medical distress and brought him towels and a trash can to help clean things up. The officers also routinely check on him to make sure he's fine, but as it turns out, things couldn't be further from fine.
Is he doing the same thing? Cocaine overdose?
I'm gonna take your hat real quick. Okay? You okay?
No,
What's wrong?
I just throwing up blood.
Throwing up
From what?
blood.
Huh?
From what?
I just had a withdrawal. I'm a recovered alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, they got I think
So
they
it's
got
alcohol.
an ambulance coming, okay? Hang in there.
The officers tell him that an ambulance is on its way, and just minutes later, it arrives.
What's going on with you, man? Throwing up blood. What kind of medical problems you got? Pancreatitis. What would you like us to do for you today? I already go to the hospital. So you already been? I'd rather go. You rather go to the hospital?
As the medics take him to the hospital, you can see just how weak Franklin looks as he struggles to leave the room. Unfortunately, despite the police and medics' best efforts, Franklin died at around 9 p.m.
No
that
shot.
evening. As of this video's upload, an autopsy is currently being carried out to determine his true cause of death, and the incident is still under investigation. If you enjoy
Man.
true crime videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to see more.
100% subscribe to Dr. Insanity if you're not already, but no shot, he passed away too, man. Damn. That sucks. Well, don't do drugs, chat. That's kind of what I got out of that. Don't do cocaine. Don't do crack cocaine. Don't drink alcohol. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't just say no to drugs. Final statement. Yo, that was an absolute motherfucking banger, like always, man. God damn. It's unfortunate that the second guy had to pass away too, dude. I was really hoping they were gonna rescue him, man. But whatever, it is what it is, I guess. I can't change it. Yo, hey, make sure to go subscribe to Dr. Insanity if you haven't already, man. God damn, what a banger, like always, man. Hey, yo, if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time, man. Deuces.